The Ballad of Max Nads, humanity's most unexpected hero. The alien queen Zorlaxia the Undying stood on her flagship's bridge, her regal tentacles draped in shimmering robes of cosmic silk. She was poised to conquer Earth, a quaint little backwater she'd only noticed after her spies reported its inhabitants were soft, disorganized, and addicted to something called Wi-Fi. "This will be easy," Zorlaxia purred, her voice like 1,000 violins made of crystal. "These humans are weak. Their planet will be mine by dinner time. Let's enslave them before dessert." Her generals nodded, confident in their queen's plan. Her armada of Infinite Doom trademark hovered over Earth's atmosphere, ready to deploy swarms of mind-control nanobots that would make every human her loyal servant. But there was one thing Zorlaxia hadn't accounted for. One human who would change everything. His name, Max Nads. Max, a 32-year-old man whose greatest accomplishments included finishing Elden Ring without cheats and eating an entire family-sized bag of chips in one sitting, was utterly oblivious to the alien invasion. After 3 days of gaming and binging Netflix, he finally decided to brave the outside world. With greasy hair, an old band t-shirt that read, "Not all heroes wear pants," and breath potent enough to stun a small mammal, Max stepped out of his apartment just as Zorlaxia's flagship descended into the sky above his neighborhood. "What the—" Max squinted up at the massive ship, clutching his half-empty Mountain Dew. "Great. Now the HOA's going to complain about that too." Before he could retreat back to his sanctuary, a tractor beam yanked him into the flagship. Zorlaxia was both horrified and intrigued by the specimen brought before her. Max stood there, scratching himself in ways that offended the sensibilities of her species. "Who dares to defile my presence with their odor?" she demanded, her tentacles flaring dramatically. "A Max Nads," he said, sipping his Mountain Dew. "Nice ship. Is this like a Comic-Con thing?" Zorlaxia sneered. "Foolish human! I am Zorlaxia the Undying, conqueror of galaxies, enslaver of worlds. Bow before me." Max blinked. "Yeah, I'd bow, but my knees are kind of not great. Can I sit?" Without waiting for permission, he plopped into her throne. Zorlaxia's generals gasped in unison. No one had ever dared to sit on the queen's throne. It was made of molten obsidian and powered by the screams of defeated warlords. Yet Max sat there, blissfully unaware, leaving a suspicious Cheeto dust stain on the armrest. Zorlaxia was about to vaporize him when something strange happened. Max smiled. It wasn't a particularly charming smile, but there was something oddly disarming about it. "You've got like 8 eyes," Max said. "That's kinda cool. Bet you never lose your sunglasses." For the first time in her 10,000-year reign, Zorlaxia felt flustered. What followed was the most baffling courtship in galactic history. Max's complete lack of fear and his willingness to share his stash of beef jerky intrigued Zorlaxia. She found herself laughing, an act that caused 3 of her advisors to faint at his dumb jokes. "You're telling me," Max said one evening over space nachos, "you've conquered like 100 planets, but you've never had a chili dog? That's tragic, Zorlax. Can I call you Zorlax?" "No," she said, her tentacles twitching in what could only be described as a blush, but she let him anyway. Within weeks, the invasion plans were scrapped. Zorlaxia declared Earth under her personal protection, much to the confusion of her armada. She and Max retired to a tropical island, where they built a home out of alien alloys and coconut husks. Their 3 hybrid children, Zormax, Nadra, and Bob, had tentacles, impeccable gaming skills, and a love for Earth snacks. As for Zorlaxia, she abandoned her plans of universal domination, finding that ruling alongside Max was far more enjoyable than conquering planets. "I used to think power was the greatest thing in the universe," she told Max one night as they watched the sunset. "But then I met you." Max grinned, handing her a corn dog. "Well, I guess I've got some decent nads on me." And so, against all odds, Max Nads became the savior of humanity, the heartthrob of an alien queen, and the ultimate proof that sometimes all it takes to change the universe is a lazy guy with good snacks and zero shame, and a knack with aliens, properly from Watch Way to many sci-fi shows.